It's interesting what you say. The fact that for the regular guys that are trading after hours are like, what do I mess with now?
They don't have access to anything.
They don't have access to anything. What they do with crypto, you can track what Bitcoin's doing.
Gold's closed, stocks are closed, bonds are closed, everything is closed.
Oh, wow.
Now, here's the thing, is Trump on Sunday night, you know, I posted this meme. It's like abracadabra, make the markets go back up, right? And what does he do? He tweets out an hour and a half before a futures open on Sunday night. Like, the guy knows what he's doing. And so that, you know, that's fine. Understand that. But I think the bigger thing about crypto and Bitcoin in particular is if you sold your Bitcoin because of geopolitical uncertainty, you had no clue what you were holding. The whole point of Bitcoin is that it is a non-sovereign asset. It is supposed to be the safe haven that you can go and hold regardless of what any government in the world does. And so I think that's part of what people are trying to figure out now is the hardcore Bitcoiners, they know that. They're looking to buy on dips, but you still get tons of new people who come in. And obviously, leverage plays a huge part of this. And so the big story over the weekend was there was $19 billion of leverage that got wiped out. Now, you can look at that as how the prices went down. The way I look at it is we just reset the entire leverage in the system, and therefore that probably clears us so that we can go higher.
What's going on, Crypto Crew? Sean's going back at you, another cryptocurrency video, and as promised, we're getting back into it. You just seen a clip. Anthony Pompliano was sitting there telling you, if you're contemplating on selling Bitcoin, you really don't understand the pristine collateral or hard money that you really truly own. So let's just get that out there first and foremost. You need to fully understand Bitcoin. You need to understand Bitcoin at a base level understanding, just due to the fact that basically, like, you know, you're holding the world's hardest asset. You can sell it at the drop of a dime if you need to. You can take it from cross borders without any problems. You know, you can't do that with things like gold, even though there are use cases for gold 100%, but just understand, you know, when you come to diversifying from Bitcoin, just understand the importance of what Bitcoin does for the ecosystem. But that's a very powerful statement. Love that clip from Anthony Pompliano. Shout out to him. But right here, let's get straight to the charts. The current time is recording. We're seeing Bitcoin come in right at 111, right above 111. And what do we see? What do we anticipate? So we're going to draw this line, this trend line. This is a trend line that you need to pay attention to, because one thing that was also talked about in that clip was basically getting leverage wiped out the system. And right now, this is what we see. We see every single time we come back down to this green line since early 2023, we have a bounce every single time. A bounce, a bounce, a bounce. This is our fifth bounce right now. So we just drew this arrow, and you can see that the trend is still up and to the right. The trend's your friend to the end. We're putting in higher highs and higher lows, and right now we are at a very important level around that 101 range. It's actually between 108 and 122. We'll look at that here in a little bit, but point in fact of the matter is we want to see what Bitcoin does. If we zoom in a little bit to the price action, we are sitting right above this support line, this green line. So this is something that is definitely to be paid attention to and definitely be mindful of. This is the line in the sand to pay attention to, this green line. And right now, every time we came back down to this, we get a bump to the upside. So is that what we could be seeing in the weeks and months to come? We got this first chart here. This is the total 3 minus USDT divided by Bitcoin. And this is on the 2-week chart, and we're looking at this from cycle to cycle. So from October of 2017 to October of this year, every single time, what do we see? We see a major pullback in the market. Whether it's a liquidation, whatever the situation may be, for the fear in the market, it happens in October every bull cycle. And then what happens in the months to come? The next 90 days has been a 400 plus return every single cycle from 17 to 21. Will 2025 give us this same return? But one thing to note, if we do zoom in on the 2017 cycle, we can see as far as the height, we went 400%, but 400% in 2021 was a lot less. So 400% in 2025, because the market is a lot bigger, is not going to be as massive of a move to the upside. So could we see this 400% play? Potentially, but because the alt market, remember this is the total 3 minus USDT, so that's looking at the overall total 3 market capitalization and taking out any stable coin market capitalization and denominating that in Bitcoin. So when it outpaces Bitcoin, that's when you see these upticks. So the point, in fact, of the matter is because from 2017 to present day, there's millions and millions of more altcoins that are on the market. So there's something to definitely note there. Will we still get this massive appreciation broadly across total 3? Just be mindful of that. We could put once again a lower high in this next 90 days in this rally. Could it be a rally? Yes. Are we saying sell all your Bitcoin and go into alts? No, because once again, everybody's risk assessment is different. Bitcoin bros love Bitcoin. Is there opportunities within alt markets to try swing trading and doing these small day trades? Yes, but if it goes against you, you can lose Bitcoin value. So you always want to think about this in Bitcoin value, Bitcoin terms. Understand that, please. And this is what we were talking about. Shout out to Mr. Wall Street. But this is a channel that we've been looking at as well. From 108, that's the bottom blue box, to 122, that's the top blue box. We just been trading in this channel. People have been getting chopped up using leverage. Yeah, the moral of the story is don't use leverage. There's been major liquidations. Over $20 billion has been liquidated. Bitcoin dropped from, I believe, 122 on some charts all the way down to 105. And that's that big red cascading wick right there that you see. But fact of the matter is, we've just been still in this channel. This is still just putting in, even in the charts, it looks like a higher low. Now, will this 108 level hold to the bottom? And if not, then we could probably say that even the local top is probably in, and we need to get some lower price action, maybe a more bigger reset before we then see more higher price action. But right now, levels are holding, which still seems to be indicative that there is some still gas in the tank for this bull cycle. There's a lot of bears out there, a lot of fear on X. We're seeing it, we're hearing it. Understanding that, not trying to be perma bulls, but right now we are still trading in the channel and still putting in higher highs and higher lows. As far as the trend's your friend to the end, the trend hasn't broken. Simon's weighing in too. Simon's saying we're entering their next phase and they are stronger than ever. And understand that they have little to no debt. They have made a multiple of their Bitcoin overall holdings since the beginning of this year, a massive multiple. And each day they're moving closer to realizing their vision for Metaplanet and the future of Bitcoin capital markets. Their focus is long-term and their conviction is absolute. So all the fear and FUD, people are selling out of positions. We're seeing capitulation on some major X accounts that have been really big Metaplanet bulls. So the tide's turning. If you're a short-term investor and you're not built for volatility, you might want to reassess this trade, because this is trading just like the altcoins back in 2017. The difference is Bitcoin bros were around back then. 2016 was when the Bitcoin bros really entered the market. Didn't start doing content until about 4 or 5 years later. But fact of the matter is we were investors in the market way back then and didn't really understand the markets how we do now, but we got that experience in 2 full alt seasons, true alt seasons. We really haven't seen an alt season. There's been selective alts that have popped as far as the 2024-2025 run. You've seen Solana sort of lead the charge going into 2024, but it hasn't been a really true alt season. It's been a very different cycle, even for Bitcoin. So if you can't withstand the down draws, you're not gonna really make it to the other side when you see that parabolic move to the upside. Metaplanet is a huge opportunity. Not financial advice, but if you just do the simple math on it, well, let's just do it really quick. I believe they got 30,800 Bitcoin, give or take. What's a few Bitcoin between friends? And let's just say when Bitcoin gets to $1.5 million. So this scenario right here is showing you their Bitcoin stack at over 30,000. And if they don't buy any Bitcoin right now to when Bitcoin goes to the price of 1.5 million, whatever time that is in the future, where does this take their net asset value? So you're looking at a $46.2 billion overall valuation. Now that's at 1x premium. That's where we are right now. So if they don't buy anymore, they don't do anything with their shares at all, what would that do for the underlying stock price? Roughly 1.2 billion shares in circulation. You would do a 38x. Now, let's just play with the numbers a little bit. So remember, $4.2 billion. Now you're going to have an MNAV on top of that. So let's just be conservative and give it a 2. So you got a 46.2, and you got a multiply that by 2. That's a 2 MNAV to be at a $92 billion valuation. And let's just say they get up to $2 billion shares in circulation from, just adding more shares onto what they already have. So let's divide that. So by 2 billion, you'd be looking at a $46 price target. So that is being conservative. I gave you a $1.5 million Bitcoin price target. Now, do you think Bitcoin can get that high over the next 10 years? Bitcoin bros are in that camp. If they basically dilute their shares by up to 2 billion, that's going to give you a $46 target from where we are right now, roughly around $3. Looking at 15x. So that's being them not buying any more Bitcoin from today, and the Bitcoin price appreciating at a 2x MNAV, just doubling the MNAV. And I just gave you two scenarios where one would be 15.4x, and the other one at $38 will give you 38 divided by 3. It will give you a 12.6x. So that could happen over the next 4 years, guys. That's a reality of this stock, and that's extremely conservative. So when you start to see if they hit their targets by hitting 100,000 by the end of next year, if they get 1% of the overall supply by 2026, you understand where I'm going with this. So basically, that's all I have for you today. Once again, I'm Sean with the Bitcoin Bros. If you guys like this content, make sure you guys, smash the like button. Let's get this content out to as many eyeballs as possible, because we're just trying to share the knowledge. Once again, not a financial advisor, just a guy giving his financial opinion on the internet. So anything we talk about on this channel is not financial advice, but right now, opportunity never feels like opportunity. There's a lot of bears, a lot of people capitulating, and there's a lot of fear in the market. Stay focused. If you believe in Bitcoin, you understand where this space is going to be going to. A lot of people were saying the same thing back in 2022 when microstrategy at the time, pulled back to a 1x MNAV, a lot of fear in the market. Look what they did since then. Stay focused, and I'll see you next time.